Knowledge is useless unless it is put into practice. So as we're reading Deuteronomy chapter 4, Moses has extolled the law that he has delivered to the people from the Lord. What nation has a law like this? But it's useless to them unless they put it into practice, unless they live by it. The unique thing about the nation of Israel is that God revealed himself to them. The God who cannot be seen, and the God who does not represent himself by anything that he has made. When God spoke to the children of Israel from Mount Horeb, they did not see his form. They simply heard his voice. They saw thick darkness. They heard the crashing sounds. But they did not see God. And indeed, no one can see God and live. We're reading what Moses said to the children of Israel, because this is the foundation for Judaism and for Christianity, that God has revealed himself to people, to individuals, because he is a personal God. And having revealed himself, he urges them to put into practice what they know. We continue the reading of Deuteronomy from chapter 4, verse 15. Moses says, "Take careful heed to yourselves, for you saw no form when the Lord spoke to you at Horeb out of the midst of the fire, lest you act corruptly and make for yourselves a carved image in the form of any figure, the likeness of male or female, the likeness of any animal that is on the earth, or the likeness of any winged bird that flies in the air, the likeness of anything that creeps on the ground, or the likeness of any fish that is in the water beneath the earth. And take heed lest you lift your eyes to heaven, and when you see the sun, the moon, and the stars, all the host of heaven, you feel driven to worship them and serve them, which the Lord your God has given to all the peoples under the whole heaven as a heritage. But the Lord has taken you and brought you out of the iron furnace, out of Egypt, to be his people, an inheritance as you are this day. Furthermore, the Lord was angry with me for your sakes, and swore that I would not cross over the Jordan, and that I would not enter the good land which the Lord your God is giving you as an inheritance. But I must die in this land. I must not cross over the Jordan, but you shall cross over and possess that good land. Take heed to yourselves, lest you forget the covenant of the Lord your God which he made with you, and make for yourself a carved image in the form of anything which the Lord your God has forbidden you. For the Lord your God is a consuming fire, a jealous God." My name's Arthur, and I thank you for joining me as we meditate on these words. The point of this paragraph is, do not make any image to represent God. God created all these things. Men like to make images and to come and see them and honour them and glory them. And many of the images that men make are of things that God has created. We build monuments to ourselves. But the instruction for the Israelites was not to make any image and not to bow down before it. And as an example of what will happen if they do, Moses quotes his own experience. The Lord told him to speak to the rock on the second occasion, because the rock was only to be struck once. That rock represents Christ. He only died for the sins of the world once. But Moses was cross. He wasn't paying too much attention to what God had said, and he struck the rock a second time. For that, he was not permitted to cross over the Jordan, even as a concession, because Moses and God were very close. But Moses was to teach the people that they might learn about God as well. And when Moses disobeyed, the consequences came upon him. He could see the good land, but no, he would not participate in it. For the Lord your God is a consuming fire, a jealous God. The first time Moses encountered God in a personal way was when he was looking after the sheep on the backside of the mountain, and there was a bush burning but not burning up. God was as a fire. And Moses, when he realized God was there speaking to him out of the burning bush, he would not lift his eyes. He took the shoes off his feet. And so began his journey with God, the God who cannot be seen, but the God who made all things, and the God who communicates to us through words, the words that are in these scriptures. He continues in verse 25 then of Deuteronomy 4, "When you beget children and grandchildren, and have grown old in the land, and act corruptly, and make a carved image in the form of anything, and do evil in the sight of the Lord your God to provoke him to anger, I call heaven and earth to witness against you this day, that you will soon utterly perish from the land which you cross over the Jordan to possess. You will not prolong your days in it, but will be utterly destroyed. And the Lord will scatter you among the peoples, and you will be left few in number among the nations, where the Lord will drive you. And there you will serve gods, the work of men's hands, wood and stone, which neither see, nor hear, nor eat, nor smell. But from there you will seek the Lord your God, and you will find him, if you seek him with all your heart, and with all your soul. When you are in distress, and all these things come upon you in the latter days, when you turn to the Lord your God to obey his voice, for the Lord your God is a merciful God. He will not forsake you, nor destroy you, nor forget the covenant of your fathers, which he swore to them." This paragraph tells the children of Israel that they will grow old, they will break the covenant that God has established with them, despite Moses' warning, and despite reading it, they would forget all about it. And they will provoke God to anger with their idols, acting corruptly. And the Lord will be angry with them. And the Lord will drive them out of the land. You will not prolong your days in the land. You will be utterly destroyed from the land. Now this has happened 2 times. It happened when Nebuchadnezzar came and drove the children of Israel out of Jerusalem. The whole land was stripped of people. Those who Nebuchadnezzar didn't take away left of their own accord to go down to Egypt, thinking that they would be safe there because they had stirred up Nebuchadnezzar again. But Nebuchadnezzar followed them to Egypt. And then it happened again when the Lord Jesus was crucified. 40 years later, as Jesus predicted, the city was destroyed by the Romans. But the promise was, "But from there you will seek the Lord your God, and you will find him if you seek him with all your heart and with all your soul. When you are in distress, and all these things come upon you in the latter days, when you turn to the Lord your God and obey his voice, for the Lord your God is a merciful God, he will not forsake you, nor destroy you, nor forget the covenant of your fathers, which he swore to them." There are 2 very incredible facts. The first is that these people that Moses spoke to 3,500 years ago still persist as a people, even though they have been landless outside of the land for most of the last 2,000 years. How could that be? Whenever other people move from country to country, they lose their identity. But God has preserved the Jewish people as a distinct people because he made a covenant with them. And the other most remarkable thing is that the Lord is bringing them back to the land. They have been in great distress. These things have come upon them in the latter day. Many of them are turning their hearts to the Lord. They haven't recognized the Lord Jesus yet. And so their return is partial. But God is bringing them back to the land. He has given them part of the land again, despite great opposition, despite great armies against them. For he will not forsake you, nor destroy you, nor forget the covenant of your fathers, which he swore to them.